Hello students, this is Professor Pearson-Bloom and welcome to my presentation on time management. What you accomplish during a 24-hour period depends on your own motivation, your energy, your skills and abilities, and other resources. Since there are always demands on your time, it may be helpful to think about what you will do with your time and to consider some strategies for more effective time management. There are many ways in which you can benefit from managing your time more effectively. You can become more efficient. You can achieve greater success in your coursework. You can reduce your stress. You can improve your self-esteem. You can achieve balance in your life. It can help you to avoid meltdowns. Good time management can also help you feel more confident in your ability to get things done and to help you reach your goals. There are a lot of things that make it difficult for us to manage our time effectively. Let's consider some of the most common ones and see if they apply to us. Unclear objectives. It's hard to hit a target with your eyes closed. And it's just as hard to accomplish something when you aren't exactly clear about what you want to achieve. Does this picture remind you of your workspace? If so, then you will need to reorganize your space and tasks to be more efficient and effective. When someone asks you for help, do you have trouble saying no? We all want to be as helpful as we can when others need us, but this can mean taking time away from other priorities to do something that we may not have planned. Interruptions are another obstacle to time management. How many times are you in the middle of accomplishing something really important and the phone rings, or you get a text or an email alert? These calls can not only take you away from your task, but they interrupt your train of thought and your flow. We all like to visit with others, but conversations at inappropriate times can also cost us time when we have to stop what we're doing and redirect ourselves from our plans. As much as we think we are busy, there are times in our day when we're really not doing anything. Reorganizing and making use of these times can have a positive effect on our efforts to use our time more effectively. Are you trying to multitask and do too many things at once? Many of our tasks are not routines, which means we must give them our attention to complete them successfully. When we are attempting to do too many different things at one time, each individual task will suffer as a result. Everyone experiences stress from time to time, and sometimes we actually operate a little better when there is some level of stress. Too much stress, on the other hand, causes our work to suffer and wears us down physically and mentally. Dealing with stress is an important part of time management. Most successful people know how to balance work and play. When work or school takes over your life, you not only give your body little time to re-energize, but you may end up sacrificing the really important things in life, like family and friends. People have different energy levels at different times of the day. Figure out what times you have the most energy. If you are a morning person, seize the early hours to study and do assignments that require focus. If you are an evening person, make sure that you are being productive and not sacrificing sleep for extra hours to socialize. The obstacles that we face are not insurmountable. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to identify that these obstacles exist and are affecting your ability to manage your time. Now that you're aware of them, let's work together to overcome them. The first and most important strategy you can employ to manage your time is to set clear goals for yourself. When a goal is too vague, you may never know how to reach it, or even when you have reached it. Make sure that you know exactly what you hope to achieve. When you have a goal that is measurable, you will know how far you have to go to reach the goal and when you get there. It is commendable to set your sights high, but sometimes we try to set goals that are unreachable. How much time should a successful college student spend on academics? When lecture courses are designed in college, professors are supposed to require a minimum of 2 hours of academic work outside of class for every hour spent in class. Let's look at how that works. If a student enrolls in a 3-unit lecture class, such as Health Education 2, over a full 16-week semester, then that course will meet 3 hours a week. If you take the 3 hours the class meets and multiply it by 2, then you get 6 hours of academic work that needs to be done outside of class time. This academic work might include things like textbook reading, homework, writing assignments, group work, watching videos, doing research, special projects, or studying for exams. What about online classes? How much time should successful students set aside for academic work? The key here is to make sure you add the time you would have spent in class to your hours of study. For instance, if you were taking Health Ed 2 online for a full 16-week semester, the class would meet 3 times a week for 3 hours. 3 times 2 equals 6. But since we are not actually meeting, then we need to add the class time of 3 back into the academic work time. That means that a full semester 3-unit lecture class being taught online would require a minimum of 9 hours of academic work a week. How much time should you be studying? Let's figure that out. The first step, I want you to write down your classes and their unit values. Once you've done that, determine how many hours the class meets a week. How are you going to do that? For an online lecture class, take the unit value, multiply it by 16 weeks. That equals the total class time for the semester. Then divide that number by the number of weeks the class is scheduled for. Is it an 8-week long class? Is it a 6-week long class? For example, Health Ed 2 Online Summer is 3 units times 16, and that equals 48. The class meets for a total of 48 hours a semester. We're going to divide that by 8 because 8 represents the number of weeks that this class is meeting over the summer. That equals 6 hours a week, meaning if you were taking Health Ed 2 online as a face-to-face class this summer, we would be in class 6 hours a week. We already discovered if we were taking Health Ed 2 online face-to-face over the summer, we would be spending 6 hours a week in the classroom. So how many hours outside of class should you be studying for Health Ed 2 online? 6 times 2 equals 12 hours a week outside of class studying for Health Ed 2 online. Don't forget, though, to add in the class time of 6 hours to our hours outside of class. So our 6 hours in class plus our 12 hours outside of class studying actually equals 18 total hours for Health Ed 2 online coursework a week. Do these calculations for all of your summer classes to determine how much time in total you need to study during the week this summer. Let's create your time management schedule. First, you're going to need to open your homework assignment on time management and answer the questions on page 1. Then you're going to go to the second page and write out your time management schedule. Start by putting in all of your face-to-face classes. Right when the times meet, mark them out in your time management schedule. Now write in the times when you cannot study due to classes or work. Next, consider your other priorities and responsibilities and block off other times you cannot study due to those. Be sure to write those into your time management schedule. Then, identify and block out study time. Another tip is consider putting yourself in an online class at a set day and time every week, just like you would if you were in a face-to-face class. Students that do that are more successful because they spread their work out over a regular period of time. Did you make your time management schedule? Did you find that you have enough time every day to study? If not, what are some changes you can make to create more study time? Consider the difference between needs and wants. What has to be done now and what can wait? Could you cut back on work? Can you wake up earlier every day? Could you socialize less? If you can't reduce your responsibilities, perhaps you need to reduce your course load. Here are some other things to consider when you're planning out your academic time. Are you keeping up with your textbook reading? Do you study for tests over a period of time instead of cramming the night before? Are you reading chapter material before you go to face-to-face classes so you can ask questions and participate in class discussions? Do you have time to rewrite or proofread any papers that you submit? What about your online classes? Are you logging in regularly? Do you need to map out more study time for certain subjects like math or science? Let's brainstorm ways to make your study time more effective. Are you getting the most out of your study time? Did you know that studies show it takes up to 20 minutes to get back on task when you are interrupted by text or emails, phone calls, or people? Be sure to put your cell phone away or on silent and don't look at it when you're studying. What happens when you're studying on campus versus off campus? When you go home, do other issues tend to pop up and distract you? Try to study at the same time each day and make it a habit. Consider breaking up blocks of academic work. Do the hardest work in the AM when you are at your freshest or right after exercise when you're awake and alert. Study in short 50 to 60-minute blocks. And if you're going to listen to music, make sure you're listening to music with no lyrics so that the lyrics are not distracting you. Let's continue to brainstorm ways to make your time more effective. Are you wasting time in traffic? Could you change your drive times and leave earlier or later so that you can avoid heavy traffic times and spend that time instead studying longer in the library? Could you study flashcards in the car as a passenger? Could you read or study during a work break? Could you read or study while you're exercising? Do you need to get away from home? Could you go to a public library, Starbucks, your car, anywhere that you could find an effective, quiet place to study? Let's look at some steps to get academically organized. First, consider putting your schedule in your phone calendar. Maybe set alerts. Use your syllabus to guide your planning and deadlines. Work backwards from exams and papers and map out the study and writing time. What I mean by that is if you know your exam is on Friday, in your phone, put study on Thursday, study on Wednesday, study on Tuesday, study on Monday to prepare yourself for that exam. Do it all at the start of the semester when you know your due dates from your syllabi. Here are my final thoughts for you on time management. You can let life control you, or you can control your life. This really is a mindset. So when a professor gives you an unexpected timeline or other challenges arise, you can either 1. Find an excuse, or 2. A successful student will just find a way. If you get a lower grade than desired, you can either 1. Make an excuse, or 2. A successful student will make an adjustment. I hope this time management presentation will help you to work smarter this semester. Please use these tips and strategies to help you plan out enough study time in all of your courses so that you will achieve the success you are looking for. Use the information presented in this PowerPoint to complete the assignment on time management. Good luck and have a great semester.